Hello and welcome to my video journal. It is 6:07 p.m. on Sunday, May 8th. So I do some of my best thinking when I'm a little high on marijuana, but I've been avoiding doing these videos if I was inebriated in any kind of way. But today's Sunday, and I did imbibe a little bit. And I wanted to record this before I go imbibe some more, drinking my Genesee non-alcoholic beer. So I thought of a genius idea. It has to do with the pistol dueling peace treaty that I have on my website, plotm.com, on a special hidden page. And I'm going to add to it. I also have the Word doc on my wife's laptop that is now my laptop. So I'm going to add this segment to it, because the next video I record tomorrow, I'm going to call out President Biden and Donald Trump for not just solving all war with pistol duels. And I'm going to encourage anyone that supports those two candidates for the next president to ask them point blank, would they be willing to sign into a peace treaty these terms involving non-lethal pistol duels. And this new segment, because why wait for your leadership? What if they don't have the guts to stand up, wear Kevlar vests, and fire pistols at each other? Since we don't have my compressed air paintball guns and nobody's helping me build them, why wait until the leadership decides that they are going to solve their issues this way instead of hiring poor farmers to go fight their wars? Why would we wait for the leadership to decide that they're going to solve their problems in this way when the technology has literally existed for 400 years? You can have a moderator with a starting pistol and a stopwatch. You don't need the wirelessly synced set that goes with these dueling pistols. You can have a moderator, a neutral moderator, stand there, hit the stopwatch when one person fires, give them 3 seconds or whatever the two parties have agreed to, and if they don't fire in that amount of time, they fire the gun up in the air and the duel is over. It ends in a draw if the first person that fired didn't hit the other person. You also have a triage tent there so that if somebody's winged in the arm or the leg, they can get treatment and get the blood stopped and the bleeding stopped. So all you had to do was switch dueling, less about trying to kill the other person and more about just trying to resolve an issue in the most skillful and honorable way. I mean, that's what sword fighting duels were. So my point is the new clause. Why wait for the leadership to solve something that they could have started doing 400 years ago? They're never going to come around to this, even if I keep pushing them publicly and not just privately on these videos. So I said, in order to take over territory in my peace treaty, I said in order to take over territory in a war, you break down to the smallest unit of any military in the world. I think that was 8 people. And each officer for that can settle off in a duel. But for the people who aren't, that's for the officers, the pistol dueling. For people who aren't officers, for the grunts, for the just the run-of-the-mill soldier, the infantry, let's solve territorial movements with wrestling matches. Men and women can both participate in wrestling matches. So what you do, we go with United States, Pennsylvania high school wrestling rules. They're very simple. There's no ride time or anything like that, so you don't have to keep a timer. It's just points. There's a takedown. If one person takes down another and gains control over them, there's 2 points. There's an escape. If one person escapes being controlled by the other person, gets free of them, that's 1 point. There's a reversal where one person switches control, and that's 2 points. And that's basic. And then there's a pin. There's fall time when a person is held on their back for 5 seconds. That's 3 points. If it's less, it's 2 or 1 point. And then there's the pin, where you hold the person on their both shoulders down for 3 seconds, and the person holding them down is the instant winner. 6-minute matches, 3 2-minute periods. So that's the rules. You can look it up. So each 8-person, you have the say Russian 8-person military unit and the Ukrainian 8-person military unit. The 2 officers from each side compare weights and size and try to make the closest match to weight and size or skill level to win the match. Neutral moderator like myself referees the matches. You're not going to have wrestling mats, but you could have knee pads, a lot of standard issue knee pads, elbow pads. So you wrestle when you're fatigued basically with knee pads and elbow pads. There's I think 3 or 4 different kinds of team points that can be scored. There's the fall where you pin someone, that's 6 points. Technical fall where you win by 15 points over the opponent, that's 5 points. I can't remember, it's been so long since high school. There's just winning by points, which is 3 or 4 points. So whatever team scores the most amount of points wins the wrestling match and wins the disputed territory. The other side has to evacuate the territory, or at least that unit does. So instead of shooting and killing each other with rifles, we solve war with pistol duels in wrestling matches. You cannot punch. You can cross face and rub hard, but you can't punch, strike. There are illegal throws that can snap someone's neck or hurt someone severely that are not allowed in high school wrestling. Those would all be in effect. But this is just a fair warning that I'm going to put it in my peace treaty. And if you're teaching basic training in the military, you should probably do a segment on United States high school wrestling rules. Not Greco-Roman, not freestyle, but the run-of-the-mill high school wrestling. I think it's NCAA high school wrestling. So don't wait for your leadership to submit to the pistol duel. They'll keep saying, oh, we're developing those paintball ones that sync up with Wi-Fi. They're not going to develop them. They've had a year to get me the funding to develop these things. They haven't even tried. They haven't even reached out. I have places we can meet where no one will be detected that you ever met with me, if that's what you're worried about. And still they're too cowardly to meet with me. Okay? So don't wait for them. If you're in the military, sign into my peace treaty. And one by one, soldier by soldier, we'll solve war in this way. It comes down to marksmanship with dueling pistols. It comes down to technique and strength. in the wrestling matches. It's what war is based off of. It shouldn't be based off of some nuclear weapon blowing up and killing millions of people. It should be about opponent versus opponent, the best skill, the best tactics, the best strength training and endurance is going to win the battle. That's what you teach the soldiers. So this still delivers on those ideals. It shouldn't be an issue. So talk to your commanding officer and see if they'll sign into this peace treaty too. Because the dueling pistols are still out there. They're mostly in Europe. And the Kevlar vests and cod pieces can be built by any military contract. So that's that. I mean, we'll solve it with wrestling matches. We'll draw a circle in the sand, in the dirt, for out of bounds. And we'll hire some good moderators through the UN or whoever else that can take some courses, take some classes on high school wrestling rules and how to referee them. We'll fly in and we'll moderate all of the advancements and movements of the military. And then it becomes mostly a numbers game. So that's my idea. That's my genius idea. Thanks for watching. Join me tomorrow when I call out Donald Trump and Joe Biden for being cowards.